You know, there are a lot of tools in the kitchen, but the relationship between cook and knife is a special one. I know, because I've been a blade head all my life, and I have tried them all, but I have finally settled down into a monogamous cutlery relationship with my Shuns. Ah, Shuns, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways. How much time do you have? Oh, all right, well, we'll just count a few of the basic ways. Shun, I love thee for thine edge. Knife makers love to talk about edge geometry, which refers to the angle of the edge of the knife itself. Now, let's just say for a moment that these are real knives. The edge on this German-made knife is 22 degrees on each side, which means that it is very strong. The edge on my Shun is only 16 degrees on both sides. Now, this is very, very sharp, but typically a knife with this kind of edge just can't keep it because it isn't strong enough. How does my Shun do it? Superior steel, which begins with dessert. Believe it or not, steel is a lot like cake. All cakes contain common ingredients like flour, sugar, and butter, but they can also contain a lot of other stuff, which even in small amounts can define their flavor, color, and texture. Same with steel. Iron and carbon are the flour and sugar of the steel world. You just can't have steel without them. But there are a lot of other ingredients that can customize the steel to its final purpose. In proper amounts, chromium increases hardenability and stain resistance. The industry standard for stainless steel is, in fact, 13% chromium. A dash of vanadium can increase hardenability and improve the texture of the steel. A sprinkling of molybdenum can improve brittleness, and a touch of manganese can make blades more durable. No, this isn't, obviously. Real manganese, we couldn't find any. When it comes to cutlery steel, there are dozens of varieties. Some are strong but won't take an edge. Others can take an edge but can't keep it. Some are too brittle, some are too soft. But the edge steel of a Shun is composed of a very sophisticated super steel called VG10, which can take a very fine edge and with normal use, keep it for a very long time. Now, in a Shun, the VG10 is supported by multiple layers of another steel called 410, which is even more stain resistant than the VG10. The resulting knife has a very interesting, beautiful, wavy pattern down the side, and as far as cutting goes, well, classic Japanese knives have simple, straight wooden handles, but here, the material is pacawood. It is a resin-impregnated hardwood that is warm and rich and very easy to hold on to. As for the shape, Shuns have a ridge down one side of the handle, which creates kind of a teardrop shape that helps to stabilize the knife in the hand. Now, Shuns come out of the box scary, sharp, and they will stay scary for a mighty long time if the owner-operator adheres to a few basic knife care practices. Time for a little quiz, kids. Which of these items are proper cutting surfaces and which are edge destruction devices? Popular surfaces such as marble, glass, metal, and even ceramics do not work or play well with your fine edges. However, hardwood such as maple, soft plastics like polyethylene, and laminated bamboo do. That voodoo, the bamboo. Oh, never mind. Believe it or not, most of the damage done to edges in homes does not come from bad cutting practices. It comes from bad washing and storing practices. Now, granted, Shun knives are dishwasher safe, technically, but the heat and chemicals used by modern dishwashers can seriously downgrade the performance of a fine blade like this, and that will shorten the life of the knife. So always wash by hand. And here's how I do it. First, get yourself a good sink of suds. Then, hold the knife flat against the edge of the sink and clean with a soft brush. Repeat on the other side, rinse and wipe dry. As for storage, how long would you expect a blade to last in there? A good, heavy knife block is the best home your blades can have. Now, repeat after me. This is not a sharpening steel. This is a honing steel. Go ahead. Okay, good. So, what exactly is the difference? With regular use, even a very fine edge can kind of bend over a little bit like this. It only happens here and there, but it can radically change the performance of the knife. The point of the steel is to kind of give it a tune-up. Just coax the edge gently back into place. There. Now, hold the steel vertically with the point anchored firmly on the board. Now, the actual angle of attack is crucial here. Luckily, the ingenious and considerate engineers at Shun have provided us a guide to the proper angle. Right here. Just line up the blade and... My ritual is 5 times on one side, 4 on the other, then 3, and then 2. How often? Well, it depends on use, but I generally find that it's better to steel before you feel that the knife really needs it. For me, once a week under normal use is fine. Good. Now, eventually, your knife will actually require sharpening. That's another thing altogether. There. This knife is now officially dull. No amount of honing is going to bring back this edge, because there isn't one. It needs to be sharpened. That is, material needs to be ground off the side of the knife to reform the cutting edge. As far as I'm concerned, that is a job for a professional, and I send my knives out once a year, whether I think they need them or not. So, a quick review of what makes each and every Shun classic a culinary scalpel. 1, the edge. 2, the super steel. 3, the design. And 4, construction. Now, go forth and slice and dice in happiness. But remember, never run with knives.